Hello, starbursts and pulsars.
Ooh!
And welcome to a spine-tingling new session of Blood from a Stone, coming to you for the first and hopefully not last time from Rocketbase 95. A heretofore briefly glimpsed domain of Dread. Hi everyone, my name is Philip. I'm the Dreadmaster of this game, of this, as we say, tale of love and dread in RPG. And with me here are our wonderful players. Why don't you all say hello for the evening players as we're
hello for the evening players.
Hello.
Hello.
They always do some good variation on that joke, and it's never not funny. It's also never funny. So yeah, this is a fun sort of jumping on point for this game, because last week we effectively had a TPK, which means we are starting in a new domain of Dread with a new game system that none of these players have ever played before. Fortunately, this one is a rather simple. This is the West End Games D6 system, originally created for Ghostbusters, and then pioneered for the Star Wars role-playing game from the 80s and 90s. So the players are going to be learning this as they go, because I think for most systems that's honestly the best thing to know. The main thing I'll sort of say is that you all need to grab a good number of D6s. If you don't have a lot of D6s, that's fine. I don't think any of you in particular will need more than, but there is a unique thing about this game that you'll have to find a way to do, and if you just want to say you'll roll it separately, that's fine as well. Each one of you is going to need one die that is your Dread die. One special die that is either a different color or a different material, is clearly distinct from all of your other dice, so that when you roll them, you'll know that one, because if that one rolls a 1 or a 6, something special happens. We won't get into that. It actually can be good. Dread in this game can be a good thing, and that is why you have 4 attributes in the system, which are physical, mental, technical, and dreadful. Dread represents sort of like a lot of kind of abilities that you may have, such as like lying and intuiting and kind of manipulating people. So yeah, there's some fun stuff going on here. Let me think about if you guys, do you all have your sheets pulled up?
So pulled up.
Okay, so basically, you're going to see next to, you have physical, mental, technical, dreadful. That's basically, there's a number of, it just says 3D or 2D or 4D next to it. That is how many dice you roll. You add them together. The higher your roll, the better you've done. But you have to roll a Dread die as one of your dice every time. So if you're rolling, if you have, Rawlings, for example, you have mental 4D. So if you're going to make a mental roll, such as explaining or investigating, you'd roll 3 normal dice and 1 Dread die.
Then you go to the Shrek 4D ride.
Exactly. Then you go to the Shrek 4D ride. If your Dread die is a 6, you get to roll it again and keep rolling it, and so you can add more to your rolls, which is great. If your Dread die is a 1, you take it away, and you take away the next highest die that you've rolled. So you're going to roll really low on that roll. Not only that, and I'll just say this because you guys all know this is coming. If any roll you make adds up to 13,
yes,
this guy goes up.
Yes, King, yes.
Mathematically, this is going to happen a fair bit, I would imagine. If a roll adds up to 13, and you've rolled a 1 on the Dread die and already applied all the stuff, there is automatically a horror surge. No roll off. It just happens. And that's something that I'm super excited about. So, with that all stated and in mind, I guess I'll set this up by simply saying that there was a man. His name was Sigmund, what was his?
Addison.
Sigmund Addison Rawlings. Mr. Rawlings.
I don't know if that had been revealed. Has that been revealed to the chat yet?
Oh, I'm sorry if not.
It's
Apologies.
Okay. No, it's okay.
S.A. We'll go with S.A. Rawlings instead.
Yes, S.A. Rollins.
Mr. Rawlings was from a place called Merkshire, one of the many cities in the Isles of Gloom. Upon going to a house in Merkshire, he had an experience with a song that led him to travel from one domain to another. He found himself in a city called Hysteles, a noir-infused domain of dread, where he, along with his friend Sister Mercy, met up with some new individuals such as Igneous, Hattie, Dr. Soup. But Rawlings, rather quickly, upon kind of starting to learn things about this place, basically got pulled up by a flying saucer, and then made himself so invaluable to that flying saucer that rather than pull his brain out and sort of study it and eventually eat it like they usually do, they're instead bringing him into the fold. They've escaped back to their home domain, and they have now suggested that Rawlings and Dahlia, but we'll get to Dahlia on another time, they've suggested that Rawlings should maybe speak to their leader. Because Rawlings and these aliens, these squid-faced aliens aboard their vessel, at least the high-ranking officers they're on, have watched a film. A film that has revealed a great deal to them. And Rawlings basically, you've got occult knowledge here, and you get to roll, so you're gonna know a lot of stuff here. Some of it you won't even have to roll for. I haven't given you like a primer on this, but there's going to be some important lore about the domains revealed today, I would imagine, simply because Rawlings knows it.
Excellent.
So that is kind of our current situation. When last we saw Rawlings, he was sort of trying to see if there was any way they could bring Sister Mercy aboard, as she was like kind of singing out to him. It was very impressive, but the aliens were able to like resist whatever strange attempt she was making. They burst free. They got back out of their nebula. Because that is another thing that should be mentioned. The Rocketbase 95, unlike the other domains, is actually massive. It is a whole sector of space, one that is enclosed on all sides by the Amaranthine Nebula, a seemingly impassable collection of dust, debris, and spatial anomalies. Our game begins with a group. Well, actually not the whole group. Our game begins with a single flying saucer.
Is there no invocation?
Oh my god. I want to kiss you through the computer screen, because if I had forgotten this invocation, I would have been so sad. If any of you know what this is from, I think you'll understand the vibe of these. Tonight's invocation. I am so sorry. I can't even.
I'm happy to help.
Oh my god. All right. An invocation for tonight. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watch sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die. Anyone?
Oh, yeah.
You got
the
it.
Tears in the Rain is what gives it away.
Yeah, Tears in the Rain is what gives it away. We'll be lost. Oh, lost like Tears in the Rain, time to die. He improvised some of that, which is crazy. The lore goes that after he delivered that monologue, the crew broke out in applause.
Wow.
And I get why. So, we begin. A saucer-shaped ship, reflective silver all along, makes its way, moving from a thick purple nebula towards a large space station, spinning, visibly producing gravity, for the thousands aboard. This is Rocketbase 95. The saucer docks. And within, two squid-faced aliens, members of a species called the Velderal, are having a quiet conversation. One of them, known only as the captain, is speaking to one of his most trusted guards. A being called Alekiai. You will take the human aboard the vessel. We will wait here with the information. I wish for you to bring the human to the director of the base. They will want to know some of what he tells them. Do not allow him to ask for sanctuary. Do you understand?
Understood.
Good.
I shall not fail you.
See that you do not. You can bring yourself great renown for serving us well aboard this station. We need the woman, Annette Young. We need her assistance with what lies ahead. You do not know the contents. You do not know the contents of the film that we have witnessed. If you learn them in the course of your time escorting the human, understand that you are retroactively being put under an oath of the top secrecy.
Understood.
Very good, Alekiai. Go and collect him. Rawlings, you have seen a lot, read a lot, deduced a lot.
Yes,
On the
yes.
other hand, you have a jetpack, you have a ray gun. These are still pretty darn foreign instruments to you. These are uncommon objects, things that you've never really understood how to use yet. So, you are all kitted out in a spacesuit. You have sort of there's like a bubble helmet that's kind of like back, so it'll kind of fold up if you hit a button. You've got a jetpack. You have a ray gun at your side in case things get testy. You have simply been told to report to a certain chamber. Dahlia was not told to report there. I don't know the degree to which the two of you have sort of been chatting lately. She has seemed pretty... It's funny for a robot to be so emotional, but she seems primarily concerned with some interpersonal relationships, not so much the revelations.
I mean, I understand that though she is in a metallic form, her mind is still predominantly human, and she seems younger than I, and in a way that precludes her from any kind of long-term wisdom.
I think that is a pretty accurate assessment on your part. Rawlings, one thing that has been great about this whole thing is these aliens just consume little protein pellets.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, just out discreet, out of the way. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to see it. They don't make... The problem with humanity is it makes such a big deal about meals and all this rigmarole about and ritual around eating. It's so filthy and disgusting and grotesque. I'm personally glad to be done with it for now.
So, you also have something, Rawlings, that is an odd element of this world that I didn't tell you about before because we didn't know what system it is. But you have on your belt 5 little kind of they're about like an inch and a half cubes. You have 5 of them. These are power cubes.
Okay. Has it been told to me what use they have?
It has been explained to you. And given that you're a pretty, kind of smart guy, why don't you just make a simple mental roll for me?
Mental roll.
You're going to roll for you that will be 1 dread die plus 3 other die. Great.
Okay, for new math, that's 8, 9, 10, 11. And
11.
my dread die was a 2.
Okay, so nothing happens with the dread die. You've rolled an 11, which is a moderate success. Yes, you, as far as you understand, like it kind of in game terms, before you make a roll, you can expend one of these power cubes and add a die to your pool for that roll.
Okay.
You can add as many as you want at any given time.
Okay.
You all start with 5 of them, but be aware that you will get more over the course of the game, and you use them to upgrade skills.
Okay.
So so basically it is a mechanic for in-game survival or between session building up. Yes.
Makes sense, yeah.
I'm starting all of you with 5 of them, which is what is recommended, but you may be able to find more. So, with that in mind, Rawlings, one of these sort of strange doorways in this vessel opens, and you see a very strong and stern-looking squid-faced alien. He's of a different variety than the ones you often see. Would you like to describe your character's name?
Elekie is, imagine mixing Worf and Davy Jones. So kind of like a built type guard, and but he has kind of a squid type face.
Right.
He wears space armor. It's gold with red furnishings on it, and he looks pretty menacing. Not super friendly. Doesn't have much humor in him.
Have we interacted before, Philip?
I would say you have probably seen him around, but you would never have interacted with him.
Okay. Hello. Is there some news?
News.
Yes. Why are you here?
I am here to guard you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It is my duty to guard. I do not derive pleasure from such activity.
Do you derive pleasure from any activities, or just are you able to derive? I guess first, are you able to derive pleasure?
There is only pleasure in glory.
Ah, okay. A real stoic warrior type, I see. Fantastic.
And Philip, what am I doing with him?
You have been charged with taking him aboard Rocketbase 95 to the director of the station, a human woman named Annette Young. Annette Young. Your bosses believe that Rawlings has information she should need, and since the Velderal are sort of helping, the Velderal have an alliance with her people, so they want to share some. They basically have said Rawlings can tell her what he's learned. I tell you what, why don't you, especially because this is not one you're amazing at, I would like for you to make an insight roll. So you're going to roll 3d6. One of them needs to be a different sort of color as your dread die.
Mm-hmm. Well.
And what was the dread die?
3.
Wonderful. Perfect. All right. So we have an 11, a 12. Next roll should be a sweet, sweet 13. Cool. So as you think about the situation, a 12 is sort of a moderate. You suspect that there are things that even having seen this, that Rawlings doesn't know. So he can't reveal, like, he's going to be revealing super secret stuff, but he can't reveal, like, Velderal's secrets. Because he doesn't know those. He knows some other secrets about the nature of this place. Or actually, I'm going to even take that back. You have no idea what the secrets are about, and you don't care. No glory in that.
Yeah, no glory in something like that. And we are located currently...
You have docked with this massive space station.
You must come with me.
Okay. Where are we going?
It is not important. You will follow me.
I mean, I will. I'm not resisting. I just would like to know where we're going, if that's all right.
That way. Follow me. And I turn, start walking.
All right.
I will start going.
So, the portal opens, and Rawlings, this is actually pretty breathtaking. You step onto a massive sort of concourse along this vessel, and you see a huge, cavernous... Basically, it looks like Grand Central Station, but it's space with neon hanging signs, above you. Just, it's kind of like thick, hazy atmosphere in here. All sorts of creatures beyond your wildest dreams wandering around in all directions.
This is incredible. I'm just like asking, like, what's I'm asking sorry, what was your, sorry, my god, what is your name?
Lequier.
Like, yeah, what are all these different types of individuals, these species? This is fantastic. I've never seen any of these before.
What are they?
I mean, you see numerous species. If you want to explain what they are to him, we can say you certainly do so. You can say those are Bacrusians, those are Cascadians, but if you just want to push him along his way, you could do that if you prefer.
Irrelevant.
Is not knowing your circumstances relevant to knowing how best to find glory in any situation?
It is good to know one's surroundings and one's enemies.
And is not providing aid to an ally of sorts also worthy of glory?
It's hard to define what an ally is unless you're in the midst of battle.
Well, you were Philip. Elkier was on the ship when we got pulled back and forth between domains.
He was on that ship, yes.
Well, and then as you know, we have been we were in battle together against dark forces from other dimensions.
Yes.
That at least gives us some sort of comradeship, does it not?
I'll tell you what, Rawlings. Make a convince roll. For you, this is 3 dice plus 1.
That is a 8.
An 8.
And it was a 3 on the thingy.
3 on the wild. It is entirely up to you if you accept this argument, but he is not stating his case very well. Not that there's not logic to it, but he's too distracted by all these weird things to be really making the plea that you just basically, as you're in the halfway through saying this, you see this 8-foot tall, just bronze shelled crustacean alien, and there's this moment of ugh, people eat those things, how disgusting, So you can identify things or not as you see fit. He has not convinced you.
Camaraderie remains to be seen. And then I point out 2 or 3 things just to humor him so he quiets down.
Sounds good. explain a couple of aliens. But if you're going to lead him rather directly to the concourse, you can do so. You approach, sort of like, as you sort of keep moving to the center, you see there's this large sort of central area, that, like, all the areas of the concourse, which mainly wraps around this entire station. I know it's very DS9, but it's also most space stations. As you're sort of coming towards this area, you notice that there are a bunch of robots that are sort of standing guard. They sort of are sort of these faceless, just like robots, and their coating, their casing is platinum, or at least that's what it's been made to look like.
Are we aware? Am I aware of what those? Is my character aware of what those?
Yes, without any rolls necessary. You would know that these are the Platinum Shield robots. These are a proprietary kind. I'll say if there's one thing you've researched, this is a proprietary kind of robot technology by the Arlington Grith Corporation. And as Arlington Grith is currently in charge of the station, it's only logical that they have brought their robots in to serve as security.
And are we trying to move past them?
You are trying to move past them.
I approach.
We request entry.
Identity confirmed. They move aside, and two doors open. You start walking, however, and a metal arm, lightning fast, goes up in front of Rawlings. Error. No identity. No ident badge.
He is with me.
Confirmed. The robots step aside.
We move quickly.
Thank you for assisting me there.
No thanks necessary. It is my duty.
As the two of you enter this main area, you were sort of, there's kind of like a lift, and you, without hitting any buttons, you're kind of like moved in multiple directions, and you come out in a command center. Rawlings, this is the most technologically advanced chamber you've ever seen. All sorts of consoles and blinking lights and stations and monitors and just all sorts of stuff all around. There are about 30 aliens, kind of like aliens and humans, 30 beings, some alien, some human, all wearing kind of like jumpsuits, but like they look a little chic, you know, kind of like there's some fashion sensibility to it, but they're all sort of wearing this and kind of going about various business. There's a human woman in her late 30s. She kind of like is making her way towards you. She is she's being followed by a rather large dog-like, kind of almost like a wolf-like, sort of black-furred, sort of like kind of being that is also wearing one of these jumpsuits. This woman, she's actually wearing more. It's interesting. She's kind of wearing like a suit. She but this being walking with her is in another fancy version of these jumpsuits. She kind of gestures. Another one of those robots like you saw downstairs, although this one seems even more embellished, kind of turns and kind of begins moving its way there. And she's also sort of like gesturing for a few other people, and the other individual who comes over with her at this time is one of the more bizarre yet strangely alluring creatures you've ever seen. Why don't you describe yourself?
I am Elutella. I am a humanoid, however, I do have features of what Terrans seem to refer to as a moth. I have 4 eyes and wings that typically I keep folded gently behind me. I do specialize in the sciences, specifically astrometrics.
So, you have met your first moth woman of Rosera 6. Because that's what they call these aliens. But this woman sort of walks straight forward, and says, "Where's your captain?"
On the ship.
What? She kind of looks Rawlings over a couple of times. Are you okay?
Yes. They've been quite gracious hosts. Yes.
Okay, good. Are you they said you don't have an ident chip. You want an ident chip?
Do I need one? Is that something that's
Yeah, everyone needs one.
What do they do?
They just let people identify you.
Do I need to be identified?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Am I in earshot of this?
You're here. You've been brought. Like
okay, I'm in
you're
the
like in this
conversation.
group. Yes.
Yes, I would recommend it. It expedites things quite quickly.
Okay,
This woman, without really listening to him, she just kind of looks at you and says, give him special status. It's fine. Just give him one. And Elitella, among various equipment, you certainly have a little like kind of this. It looks like a little gun you can just kind of put against his neck.
Like a
and
hypo spray?
Yeah, just shoot a little chip inside of him.
Very sorry. You may experience some redness. However, it shall subside shortly.
Okay. And now, I guess I guess Rawlings doesn't have any concept of like this at all. Like even after, so like okay, fantastic. So my name is S.A. Rawlings. It is a pleasure to meet all of you.
Elutella, you're like literally, you can like enter that in, or it's actually they've got vocal recognition. So like on your little thing to make sure his ident chip suddenly, in anyone's AR, he comes up as S.A. Rawlings.
I will confirm, however, on my
Sure.
data pad. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, whatever you want. Sure, datapad, Questis, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, thank you for your confirmation.
The woman goes, S.A.
Yes, it is initials.
Military designation?
No, no. I am far from a soldier. Sigmund Addison Rawlings. It's just simply easier to say than Sigmund Addison Rawlings, and I don't know. I feel like it's a little less pretentious.
He does not appear to have the constitution for military service.
Thank
Surely.
you. Thank you.
All right, well, we got a priority mission. We got a priority transmission from your vessel. So, if you're going to explain anything to us, I think it's Dr. Elitella. If you'll let's hear. She kind of looks around. She goes, I don't have a lot of time, you understand. We have a lot of shipments to get out today. But I've been told that I need to hear about this. So she kind of starts leading you guys towards like a conference center or something.
Yes, this is definitely something we may wish to discuss in private.
Okay.
I just kind of like I recommend we may only want to do this just the two of us, and then you can bring in whoever else you want as soon as you know the specifics. But this is one of those things where it's like the wrong information in the wrong minds can do irreparable damage, if you know what I mean.
Well,
You mustn't be
my
released
mind-
from my custody.
Very well. My mind can handle quite a bit of information.
Okay.
yeah,
I
I need
understand
Elitella in there to. No, I need Elitella in there to explain to me what you're saying. But I mean, listen. She kind of gestures to her robot and is like, I mean, he's fine. Prime is okay, but she looks at her. She looks at the dog-like creature, kind of. Let's wait outside. This kind of dog thing goes. But this is just going to mean I'll have to hear it all again from you. I know. Just see to things while we're ensconced inside. So she kind of gestures you guys to like a private console chamber. Inside there's like a table. It's a real conference room, Star Trek situation.
Yeah.
She kind of just gestures for you to sit. She takes a seat near the top of it. She starts messing around on a pad or data thing for a second, just typing some stuff. Her robot guy sort of stands guard behind her. Elitella and Alekie, do you sit down, Alekie, or are you going to remain standing as well?
I will sit, but almost uncomfortably.
Like on the edge of the chair, like in like a half, yeah, sure, in a half spring up motion. Very good. Elatella, do you sit?
Yes.
Okay.
Delicately, with my wings gently folded behind me.
All right. So she kind of tosses a thing aside and says, "All right. So, what wild grouse chase do the Velderal have for us today?"
Well, so just to start off with, the reason these identification chips. Everyone here in this realm has one.
Well, I mean, no, not everyone in the realm, certainly. What realm? What are you talking about? Everyone on the station had better have one.
Okay, well then this.
We will track down anyone who does not possess an identification badge.
That deflects my point. Have you ever? What is so? This station is called. What's the station called?
Rocketbase 95.
What is the world in which we are currently existing?
This is not a world. This is a galaxy.
What is
We're
this
in
galaxy?
We're in Sector 95.
Sector 95.
Mainly within the Amaranthine Nebula.
Yes.
Have you ever met someone from outside of Sector 95?
Well, yeah. Yes.
I mean, who knows where these aliens come from? I'm sure half of them come from outside the sector.
I am from outside Sector 95.
Okay.
I am from an entirely different. I am from beyond the nebula, beyond the mist. Now we start to go into explain.
Very good. So in that case,
and about like I'm sitting down, but about a minute and a half in, I am up, pacing back and forth.
Understood.
So
and you notice that as you do that, the robot is just like.
I definitely am not noticing that.
Rawlings, absolutely. Rawlings, I simply would like for you to make an explain roll. So this is when your mental talents, you get 4D for this. Shrek 4D.
Woo! That's 12. And I roll on my thingy.
12 and 4. All right, very good. So as you sort of pace back and forth, explaining the situation, a 12 is a moderate job. So Elutella, you understand that Rawlings is effectively describing a cosmology that is fundamentally mystical in nature. He is suggesting that rather than there being a thanks for the drum hit there. Rather than there being just like an expanding universe of multiple galaxies and star stuff and all that jazz, this man is suggesting that your little section of space is one of 13 distinct areas that are controlled by powerful dark creatures, and everyone's trapped within them and can't travel between them, only when there's horrible surges in darkness and dread.
Am I understanding that these aren't like separate galaxies? These are, in fact, separate realms? Or...
I'm going to say, because he did a moderate job and you are yourself a very intelligent individual, you have followed this. I will say you get the impression that Annette thinks he may just be talking about, she thinks it means like he's just talking about other sectors of space.
And do I think he's ill? Or... like, I pick up what he's putting down, but do I think that he...
You understand what he's saying, absolutely. In that case, you can make an insight roll, unless there's a different... Oh. I'm gonna give you some options here. You can either roll insight.
Okay.
But you're not great at that, it's only 2D.
I'm not.
Or you could roll to analyze him. Now, typically, this is more scientific analysis, but you'll be coming at it for a thing, but the number you have to hit will be higher.
We'll do analyze, and I get 5.
You need 5, but one of them needs to be your dread die.
Okay. So that's 9, 12, 13.
17.
17, and what was your dread die?
2.
Wonderful. With a
Calm
17,
down.
you have hit. Oh shoot! I'm an idiot. I'm supposed to roll the difficulty that you're supposed to hit for these things.
Well, I think that was a good one, and I think I passed it.
We'll say that you do it, but I'm supposed to. I forgot about that. I'm supposed to roll within those ranges to come up with what the difficulties are for things, which I love. Okay, cool. So, with that, You don't think he seems to fully believe what he's saying. Now maybe that means he's definitely crazy, but you don't have a sense that he doesn't seem like unstable or insane. He's saying stuff that makes no sense, but
I follow it.
Yes, I do understand that there are many realms, so to speak.
Yes, precisely. I come from a different one of those realms.
And if you cannot travel between them without dreadful things happening, what dreadful things did happen to you?
So it seems that there are moments in which. Okay, and so then, Philip. So now, how much do I know, having watched this film, about like how like these like the dread storms and like these weakenings of the barriers and all this?
Make an occult knowledge roll.
Hell yeah, baby!
Nice.
And
Nice.
remember, if you're trying to go if you're trying to go crazy here, you can always use power cubes.
I'm gonna spend 1 power cube to give me a self.
So kind of rolling, sort of like for the first time, absent-mindedly, you're kind of like like fiddling with your belt.
Fondle one of my cubes.
And one of these cubes, you break it, and it just kind of like shoots into you, and you feel this like momentary surge.
That is just exceedingly mediocre. Okay, that's
It's a sad news.
22.
22 is good. And what was your? I'm only asking this time just to kind of get everyone in the habit of checking. What was your dread die?
4.
4. Great. With a 22, that is very difficult. Oh wait, but I'm supposed to roll. Sorry.
Wait, so what do you roll to determine the difficulty?
I roll a smaller set of dice starting from a basic number. You have passed what was necessary.
Okay.
Basically, they like there to be some random variation in the numbers you're trying to hit, because it's all ranges, which is fun. Okay, cool. So, but you have succeeded at this very difficult situation. Parsing this. So what that means is that despite the details of dread storms not having been a focus of the film, you have deduced from other things that have been said on the film. And what it is about is a matter of focus. For some reason, these surges in dread and horror only happen seemingly in like one of the domains at a time. Almost as if when the focus is on one of them, the actions of certain people there can increase this mounting amount of dread. Almost as if, and it's a term that you've seen a few times, when the dial is tuned to one domain or another, it seems that dread can begin to mount, and then crazy things can cascade between them and break through.
When was the radio invented?
You wouldn't know about radios yet.
Damn.
But I'm gonna hand wave that because you've been on an alien spaceship for a week or so.
Okay.
So you were in Hysteles. You get the concept of transmissions. You're too smart.
Didn't hear the radio in Hysteles. We were
You
listening.
heard radio in Hysteles. You get the idea that it's like turning a switch.
So there are these nothing. Well, I want to say nothing untoward has happened to me. There have been moments where I have been in grave danger, yes. But I have I've been able to, just by pure luck and whatever wits I can manage, escape. But there are these moments when the bounds between two of these domains weakens and intensifies, and it seems almost as if there is a struggle between the two domains.
And what planet did this occur on?
I guess so. I have seen these both on. Is Merkshire on Earth? Like, is it technically on Earth?
They would refer to it as Earth. That's fine. Yes.
Well, I am from a planet called Earth.
Very well.
Can I just like not meaning to be rude, but rudely interrupt him and like see if I can find this Earth of which he speaks?
No roles required. Earth is where humans come from.
Oh, okay. So I know. I referred to them as Terrans before. I should have asked if I knew about Terrans.
You can call them Terrans. That's great.
But
I have heard of Earth.
You're from Earth, but we've been cut off from Earth for like decades, ever since the nebula shifted.
I would be willing to guess that I am not from your Earth. I am from.
It is not my Earth. I'm not from Earth.
He's talking
I'm from
to me.
Rosera
Lita.
5.
Doc, he's talking to me. Okay.
Well,
So you think you're from a different Earth? So, Mr. Rawlings,
Yes, yes.
which corp is in control of your Earth?
Can I? What is this? Can I make some kind of check? I guess insight check to see if she like this seems. This is getting. I'm getting like greedy capitalist sense, and they definitely have that in Merkshire.
Yes, go ahead and roll an insight. This would actually be contested by her specifically, although she's not trying to hide it.
I rolled a 19 with a 4 on my special die.
With 19, you could have done with much less, but yes, you get the sense that all she's hearing about, and she still doesn't seem to be fully engaged, but when you say that she's interested in Earth, yes, the corporate stuff, she is interested in money, but she's also interested in her position within her own corporation. So like maybe like learning about this money stuff you're talking about, you know, like, or like learning about what corp's in charge of your Earth, that could be a really big deal.
Well, there's no one corporation that is in charge. There are many competing ones there.
Yeah. Okay, but what's the biggest one? Who's got the largest market share?
Do I have a knowledge of like the stock market or like big companies?
I don't even know. Just make a straight mental roll on that.
Mental roll.
We'll have it be.
Philip.
Yo.
No.
Wait. I rolled a. Okay, so hang on.
Yes.
I rolled a 6 on my dread die, but
Yep.
I also rolled a 13. So I got to keep going, right? Because it's
not a 13 because you get to keep rolling the dread die.
Okay, so that's a 15.
You rolled a 2.
Yeah.
With a 15.
I know if I'd rolled a 1, then it would have been your wildest dreams come true.
It would have been the greatest thing. Yeah, and well, no, because it's actually, it's hard to get those, because if you roll a 1, you also remove your highest other die.
Oh.
You're only going to get the automatic horror surge when someone's rolling a lot of dice.
Yeah.
Because you're removing the highest, and a 1, and all that remains still has to roll with 13. Yeah. So with a 15, you can say the name of a few, like, a couple, like, railroad lines. You can say, like, a tea manufacturer down in, down in Wendell. Like, you got.
Can I be looking these things up
Absolutely.
on my data pad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never heard of any of these consortiums. Damn it. Are they shells or are they full conglomerates?
To be quite honest, I am not versed in business. I am more of a scholar. So this is not my area of expertise. I apologize.
All right. So let me get this straight. You're saying that that you're from a different sector of space, where you're still on an Earth, but you're saying it's not my Earth. I haven't heard of those corps, so I imagine it's not Earth unless there's serious takeovers.
Where I come from, it is not the same. Even if we are from, assuming that we would be in the same spatial galaxy.
Yeah.
Where I come from is vastly technologically behind here. So it cannot be the same time. It is either a different time or a different reality.
Okay.
Imagine a multiverse.
So okay, I'm with you. I read comic books. I get a multiverse. Okay, so you're saying
is a comic book a scientific paper?
Yeah, Doc, sure. She's kind of
May I
looking
borrow
for...
some of yours?
Yeah, take whatever you want. Listen.
Okay, thanks.
Listen. And you say there's a lot of these other multiverses we can
Yes,
travel
there are 13 total, but I believe you are look, I do not mean to disrespect you, but there's something greater than each of these individual ones, and I believe that there's some overarching power that is in control of everything, and I believe that there is something external to these 13 domains, and I do not know what it is.
Yeah.
But there's something beyond, something above all of us.
Okay. Thank you. This is very good information. So, yeah, go ahead.
Can I check if, like, I know we've been disconnected from Earth, but do we still have tabs on it? Like, we know where it is, right?
You know where it is. It's outside of this nebula.
Would I be able to see if there's any, like, gravitational anomalies or anything around
Nothing
it?
gets out of the amaranthine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because
Just checking.
because there isn't an Earth.
Oh, shit.
It's just a section of space all on its own. There's nothing beyond. That's the whole. Yeah, but in any case.
So then I have. I do have a question. You said that you lost contact with Earth several decades ago.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Do you mind me asking?
The nebula shifted. I don't mind. I mean, I wasn't born on Earth anyway. I was born in one of the colonies.
How?
The nebula shifted, and now we can't even get transmissions. But it's fine because the corporation, we had just shifted out a bunch of our auto-replicating fulfillment centers. So we've been able to keep going with progress and expansion. There's only 2 other corps left.
Fascinating. Is there anything in my knowledge of history of Merkshire that would have happened around that same time ago in Merkshire as when the
Interesting. Sure, make a it would be a history, so for you it's just a non-occult, recall information, so it's just your flat mental.
Would it be a research?
You would need the files at hand to research.
Okay, all right. So just mental.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. If it's a 4 on my die, and that's a 20.
A 20.
4, 6.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, you're well outside the difficulty with this. There's nothing in the history of Merkshire a few decades ago. I'm gonna give you. Roll 1 extra die on top of this. Non dread die.
That's another 6. That's a 26.
With a 26, in that case, I'm going to say that I'm going to let the first half of that 20 sit there and then add the 6 on for an occult knowledge thing. You're trying to think of things that happened a few decades back.
Well, if it's an occult knowledge, then I need to roll an extra one because I have a 6 and I only rolled 4.
That's what I just put. Oh, then roll another one. Sure. Jeez.
That's a 2, so that's a 28 total.
28 gets you firmly into the. Okay, well, and this is actually very fun that I'm sort of saying this to you. Let's see the degree to which. The only big thing in Merkshire that you can remember happening like a few decades back was this killing spree by a serial killer called the Red Death. Now, of course, Rawlings doesn't really know the significance of that, but somewhere across the mists, there's this judge just going, I told them the doll was the architect. And they just walked in.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing you can think of. But the idea that maybe something was going on multiple places decades ago in your feeling.
There may have been. So I only ask about how long ago this happened because there may have been. I'm not. Without the actual files from my home, I would not be able to directly corroborate the overlap. But it seemed there may be something that happened that affected around that time that affected every single domain.
Wow, that's good. That's really good. Okay, so, okay, great. So there's ways to sort of break through to these other multiverses. How big are the rifts? Like, could we get a ship? We can get like ships through them, right?
I do not know.
Okay, it's fine. Look, I know I'm putting a lot on you here, buddy, and I know you just got your listen.
Well, I am just wondering, why would we put ourselves at risk for this anomaly?
Don't worry, Elatella, you don't have to go through any of the She kind of turns to Alekiai, Master Velderal. You have done great. We're going to consider this definitely you honoring your terms. We're going to want to get as much information from this gentleman as possible about this situation. But we would, she kind of turns to Rawlings, we'd like to offer you sanctuary.
He mustn't. He must return to our ship.
Ooh, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Well, Rawlings, if you ask for sanctuary, we have to
You
give
mustn't.
it to you. The robot's ready to throw down if necessary.
I sense there's a little bit of tension here. Why? What?
There's no tension. There are allies. We're just saying that it's the policy of this corporation to offer sanctuary to anybody who wants to work with the company.
Request sanctuary.
Why?
That's fine.
Pardon me for asking. I do not understand. There's so many customs here. I do not wish to offend anyone. There's so many customs. I do not understand.
No one is offended.
Well, LKA, why must I not request sanctuary?
I believe it is pronounced Elekie.
Elekie. Sorry, my apologies. Elekie.
Is that correct?
It is correct. That's good.
I'm sorry. Why?
Requesting sanctuary will be your demise.
Why is that?
Are we not comrades?
This is the first time hearing that directly from your mouth, but I'm delighted to hear it.
Consider this battle.
We are not currently in conflict. I would just like to emphasize that.
Technically, we are in a current treaty with the Velderal. That can change if hostilities begin.
We would not like hostilities. I would just like to
wouldn't
that
like
very
hostilities, but it is corporate protocol that we at least offer sanctuary.
Your
And
protocol.
Go ahead, Rawlings.
I mean, I don't feel as if I need sanctuary right now.
That's fine. That's
I
fine.
appreciate your offer.
Just know that if you, I understand, playing hardball, that's fine. We can wait. Just be aware that if you accept a sanctuary with this company, we're going to be bringing you in at an executive level to start with.
I do believe it would be beneficial for you to remain here, perhaps not as sanctuary, but as a respite from the dread.
Well, of course, yeah. The entire ship's welcome to come stay aboard. All the Velderal can come on, but this is really good, Velderal. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so no sanctuary. We won't. She kind of like sets down a contract, but all right, playing it crazy. It's fine. What is it gonna take, by the way? You want a ship? You want a corporate ship?
I wish to know more of what I am getting myself into.
Tell you what, I completely understand. She hits himself up. She slides you over a spare data pad. That's our whole corporate mission statement. That's the various pay rates and things, just so you understand what you could be getting for yourself.
How long are my tentacles?
They're
Ayo!
your face tentacles can reach about like 3 or 4 feet if you really.
They intercept and pass it back slowly.
Understood. Well, we're all friends here, so we don't want to make things awkward. But Mr. Rawlings, this is really good information. Well, I guess you'll need some. If nothing else, you'll need a little bit of walking around money on the ship. I mean, we have accommodations for you, but Elatella, why don't you?
Perhaps we should visit the medical and psychological facilities.
Oh yeah, are you okay? I guess I didn't
Oh,
see you
they're-
okay.
Well,
Just as standard protocol, Annette.
Oh,
I
sure.
would love to see if it's possible. I would like to see how the different if the different domains have had any effect on my physiology at all.
Yes,
Sure,
absolutely.
we should do a full workup on the guy. That sounds good. But I am going to need more information about these points of crossing over, and any descriptions you can give of these other domains would be good, just so we understand what resources they have in each one. That we'd want to go for.
Well, to be honest, I don't know quite. What I would say is, instead of focusing on, so all these dreadstorms have only occurred when it feels as if, like, you know how I said there's something greater that might be controlling everything beyond these 13 domains.
Sure.
When those crossings over happen, when I believe when they or some other entity or entities are attuned to a domain, that then draws whatever occult or dreadful focus to that domain and allows for more interaction with the other domains.
Interesting.
So it might be worth developing some sort of device to sense where the focus is, if that makes sense.
Well, we can produce a device that can detect power, a power source.
Yes, find out what the power surge is. Drop everything else you're doing. This is all you're working on now.
Well,
develop a way
yes.
of finding this out.
And
Rawlings, I'm going to give you one more. Oh, go ahead, Elotella. Sorry.
well, Mr. Rawlings, I was wondering if you could perhaps speculate as to what type of power is generated from these, what did you call them?
Dreadstorms?
Storms?
Based on based on the kind of like the feelings I had, because I've been in three dreadstorms.
Yeah, four.
Oh boy.
Well, there's the one with
That's-
Etienne.
Yeah, 4 and then 3 aboard
four,
the
yeah.
spaceship. Yeah,
Yeah.
1 where you got pulled up and 2 more after that. Yeah.
I would say actually, so it actually, if given that you and the Alekie, what is the name of your people again?
Velderon.
Given that the two of you are in agreement, I would suggest starting with if the Velderon are willing to share their ship's logs from their ship that I was on went through 3 of such occurrences.
We'll
Actually,
request-
no, 4. Is that correct? The ship went through 4 occurrences?
The ship only went through 3 because the
No,
first
4
one.
with Dahlia.
That's right.
Dahlia, that's right.
Then we shall analyze the ship to see
So
if
I mean,
there are
again,
any...
it's not my information to give, but I just want you to know that if the two of you can come to some sort of agreeable exchange of information, or
I will have to consult my captain.
of course, yeah.
Ask your captain. She gives. Actually, Alekie, make a. I want you to roll a sense roll. It's under your dreadful.
Oh, so under dreadful says 3D, but then sense is 4D plus 1. So just follow the 4D.
Roll the 4D, and you get to add 1 to whatever you roll. It's like a modifier.
So that would be 23, and then I did roll a 6 on my dread die.
Then roll the 6. Then roll the dread die again.
So then get rid of the 23 number, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. 19.
No. You add it. When you roll a 6 on your
26,
dread die, it's a good
Okay.
thing.
Oh, got it. 26.
26.
That's a 3.
So, as you look at this with a 23, you see a subtle look from this woman to her robot guard, like suggesting that he do something or like prepare something. I'm gonna say, because your sense was so high, basically, like she just gave him like a coded like handle this, because they're going to want to look at your ship data, whether or not your captain agrees to it. They're going to try to get that information. And that is the kind of information you guys have not been sharing with them.
Do I have I would say I won't ostensibly do anything about that right now.
Totally.
Do we have communicators of any sort?
Yeah, you've got a little you can definitely calm somebody when the time comes when you guys. This woman says, okay, great. Rawlings, I guess I'm gonna give you one more bit of information, and I'm ready and waiting to if you want to list all of the domains, you can do that. You know all 13. Well, let me rephrase that. You knew all 13.
Yeah.
One
I
of them
will.
is no longer there. Yeah.
Yes, I will. I'll list them all.
Okay, cool. Then in that case, I'll just sort of list them for the group, and you actually do. I will sort of I'll sort of say this if you, after each one, if there's any other color commentary you want to put onto it, I will allow you to do that. But this is the 13 domains. This is all 13 of them being revealed now. The first, this is in alphabetical order, Arcana Bane. Arcana Bane is a domain largely without magic. It is a place where magic is considered evil. There are some children there called the Orphans of the Eldritch. They seem very creepy. The second is called the Fractured Factory. Interestingly, when you watched this section of the film, this one was animated. It looked as if someone had drawn pictures in a sequence and they moved. It was completely unlike anything you'd ever seen before. Almost as if like political cartoons had come to life. The next was a largely a largely aquatic or sort of like on coastal areas called the Grave Marshes. After that was a domain you have just been in called Hysteles. The next, a domain called Ignador. This is a dark fantasy realm with magic and liches and is kind of the closest thing to traditional D&D you get at these places. Next up is Die Leckergärten, which seems to just be a beer hall. That is followed by Longjavis Mons, which is a horrible white mountain of snow and death and all sorts of impossible eldritch things lurking from millennia before this briefly crossed over into Merkshire recently. After that is Merkshire itself, followed by Paradise, followed by Rocketbase 95, followed by the Shuffling Domain. This is a domain that changes constantly. What the vibe of it is. It can be all sorts of other, energies and vibes, but they all seem to be very small and very focused. After that is Tabakatos. This is a frightening sort of like mountain region where there is a dragon who seems to smoke people alive as its main hobby. And the final place is called Voluptua. Voluptua, as far as you can tell, is an island paradise. It is effectively a horror version of Bachelor in Paradise.
I can't wait. I can't wait. He's not here for the right reasons.
I was like, if we go there, is that just going to be like a dark, horrible dating sim?
Honestly, yes, to an extent. Now, it is not mainly based on Bachelor in Paradise. There's just a good comp for it.
You need to change it to be based on that.
It will definitely have some elements, but it too specifically has some other some influences already. So those are the 13 domains of dread. You know them all, and you have said this to all of them. There is one other thing that you know about all of them. I'm not going to go through this for all time, and hopefully we can kill Rawlings before he shares this with everyone, so there's still some mystery. But I would love for you to just be aware. You'll see that's like a pun in a second. Of the name of the Dreadlord of this domain. Not all, you don't necessarily know the name of the Dreadlords of every domain, but you know the name of this one. Because it seemed strange. It is something simply called the Awareness.
The Awareness?
The Awareness.
Okay.
That is the Dark Lord here.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, but I saw, yeah, I will just say, yeah, I'll name the 13 domains, and then I'll say, and each, like I said, and each domain has, there is a force that controls each one. There's like each one has its own lord of it that is.
Yeah, gotcha.
Who is in charge of who's in charge of was it space? What is it? Space something 95. What is it again?
Rocketbase 95.
Well, not Rocketbase, like the whole, like it's like space
Sector 95.
Who is in charge of the entirety of Sector 95?
Well, I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, because we're, doing this. Theoretically, I would say that it is the Arlington Grith Corporation, but there are some threats to our hegemony. We don't have a full monopoly on the sector. I'll phrase it like that.
Is there... I'm not trying to conduct any like corporate espionage or anything. Is there something greater than the corporations that if it were to like make a move, all the corporations would band against something like that?
Oh, Oh, I see. Well, certainly corporations acquire each other one enough, but I want to.
I understand that much.
I want to say really quickly to you that Arlington Grith supports our employees' unions, and we're fine with the unions that they have. But any discussion of new unions with greater rights or a breakdown of the corporate structures and overarching, any kind of like non-corporate governance of this sector, that is, I understand you're from somewhere else, that's fine. I wouldn't talk about that outside of the concourse. You know what I'm saying?
I were there unions in 1890?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the history of labor. I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
I understand the concept of labor union. I'm not talking. That is not to what I am referring.
Okay.
Is there? Are you afraid of unions?
She gestures, and the robot kind of goes, and you hear a bunch of like cameras and recording devices power down. No, I'm of course not afraid of unions. I think they're an important part of what we do. I'm afraid of some of the new ones people are trying to work up. I mean, most of the unions we own now, so we're fine. But some of these new things they're trying to do are troubling. Yes.
Is there something that exists here that you know of that if it enters your mind at night when you're trying to fall asleep, you break out in a cold sweat and find no rest?
Nightmares of lights.
Dear Mr. Rawlings, that's what alcohol's for. No, well, of course we all have cold sweats here in this place. I mean, it's living on a space station. It's hard, but we get through it.
There's a particular nebula that I dream of. And when I do, it does give me, well, I do not perspirate, but it does cause me to wake up in fear and panic.
That's fascinating. Quite as I've been walking through, has the writing been a language I understand?
Yes.
Okay.
It has.
Do you have a piece of paper?
What paper?
And a writing utensil. A piece of paper and a writing utensil.
Here is a data pad. She kind of looks at Alikier like, are you gonna?
No,
She slides you a data pad.
I want to write something out that I do not want. I have come to understand how traceable, how these things operate.
Oh,
okay. I do not wish.
I see what you're saying. Okay, well here.
What is the word? I wish you go analog.
I don't even know if we have any like paper, like tree skin. Do
you have a writing utensil? I could write this on my. I'll roll up my sleeve. I'll write it on my arm. Do you have a writing utensil?
I mean, we have a stylus for the data pad. You could and she's like, she leans over and says, "Can someone please bring us paper and an implement that can make a mark on paper?" She says, "If you want the future, though, if you go to see the top menu there, click the top menu twice, and then if you click new screen and you hold it down, you can get it's called incognito mode, and that'll create a screen that it won't if you whatever you draw on that's automatic.
And no one can track that at all.
Well, I mean, not really.
Yes.
That is not to be trusted.
After a few moments, somebody does come in, and they have like they've got some paper. Thank you very much. And she kind of, there you go. There's your paper, untraceable.
Then I will just write the awareness on it, and then I will slide it over. Does this mean anything to you?
She picks it up. This is a very interesting thing. I'm just gonna roll. I'll give her 3 on this. That's not good at all. She doesn't have wild dice because she's a thing. I'll also roll though for Rawlings. You look at that. You kind of, she looks at it, and you go ahead and make an insight roll.
Insight. 4d plus 1. That's a 13, baby.
A 13.
Yeah. That's a 5 and a 4 and a 2 and a 2. Right? Is it 9 plus 4 is 13? Unless I... No, wait. That's not a... No, wait. That's not a 4. That's a fucking 6. I'm sorry. That's a 15. I'm sorry. I wanted it to be a 13 so bad.
I know that you do. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed.
I know. And that's even worse.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, Dad.
So, just kidding. That would have been such a good time. Oh god, a horror search would have been perfect there. With a 15, you don't believe that she knows what this is. She is unaware of this term.
Okay, then I'm immediately just going to...
However, actually a 15, you're not as familiar with it. Go ahead, yeah, what would you do instead?
Well, I was gonna say, like, if it looks like if she just starts to be no, I'm just gonna start ripping that paper to shreds, as tiny little shreds as I can.
Understood. So you've held it up. So you're doing that, and you begin ripping it up, and she's kind of like, "What's going on?" But Elikiai and am I saying that wrong? Am I saying it at all right?
Lekier.
Elikiai. Elikiai and Elitella. I know Elikiai, you have pretty good sense. What is Elitella's sense? It's not... Oh, she has the 4 eyes, so she might notice this as well.
Yes.
I'll say that both of you with 3s, if like you guys kind of like are getting a sense. Behind her, Platinum Shield Prime is beginning to go like this. And Elitella suddenly... You see this little like burst of plasma and like smoke
Oh dear.
going up the skull, and she kind of turns back like, what? And the robot at this point goes, and it's about to attack. So, gang,
Yes.
what would you all like to do as this thing's preparing to attack you all?
Can I calculate where it is going to shoot?
Go ahead and make a calculator roll.
Okay.
18. These fingers. This is a lot of counting, y'all.
The robot does not seem to be completely aware, but it does seem to be acting generally hostile, and it seems like it's probably going to target Rawlings.
Do we take actions in sequence, or how do we?
Genuinely don't know. I'm
Nice.
so sorry.
Because if we don't, then I would like to get my ray gun and shoot it to not.
Oh my god, I am so sorry. I have not looked this up yet.
Philip, there is a thing that you have not researched about a D&D game?
I cannot
I'm
believe
shocked.
I didn't
Wow.
look up.
Combat.
Combat turn order.
Yeah. Here's my love for sisters. Oh, okay. Okay. Here's how we're going to do it then. I want everyone to just make a. This isn't how I'll usually do it, but they say you could do this sometimes. I will have this. We may do something different next time, but for now, everybody just make a sense roll.
Okay, sense roll.
Sense. Where is that?
It is under. If you don't, it should be under your dreadful. But if you don't have it,
7.
Oh, I do.
7.
23.
23. Great.
7.
Okay. So, with a 23, Elikiai, you do get to go first. You see this thing gearing up, and you see Elitella like sort of half pointing.
I attempt to use my gamma staff. I've never used this before to actually target the weapon that's being held.
Oh.
To destroy the weapon.
Okay, so you want to shoot your gamma staff at the weapon.
Yes.
Fascinating. Okay, go ahead and roll an attack with your gamma staff under technical.
Okay. Oh fuck, that's a 13.
What,
No.
what was the dread die?
A 3.
Oh,
So then, boom. So if you would please roll me a d13, as we did.
Right when I was gonna get awesome,
Yeah.
it got extra awesome. 10.
A 10. Great. Okay. So, with that, hold on. Let me scrub over here to put this new one in. There we go. One from Zane. Thank you, Zane. Okay. It is going to get to make a. It's actually pretty good. It's a base 4 on these. So what was that number? A 13. Cool. Obviously 13 because that's what it's doing. Can I beat a 13 here? I roll a 12. That's unfortunate. So,
Too bad.
you
Too
do
bad.
manage to sort of shoot the weapon before it can sort of yank it away. Roll the power of your gamma staff, which should be up.
It looks like 4D.
40. So roll 4D, and I'm gonna roll a resist injury just on behalf of this machine, which. Well, actually, I rolled very high on that.
14.
Okay. You shoot it and you manage to hit it before this person could yank it away, but it's like I'll even say the robot like drops the weapon, but the weapon does not seem to be damaged. And now it's just like on the table and it sort of looks up at you. And sort of you've done that. Any kind of other, let you kind of do other moves. I haven't prepped them for combat in this system and I haven't read it either, so I'll do that before next time, but for now we're just kind of wing this a bit.
Can I want to get in between the robot and Rawlings.
Yeah, you kind of take defensive position. Perfect. You're now the target. It is the robot's turn. Sort of sensing this, the robot kind of like having this sort of thing. The robot's going to sort of make a quick attack with a 1 die penalty against the lady. If you ever want to try to do more things, like at once in this game, you're sort of welcome to do so. He sort of with one hand just kind of like sends the woman flying. Annette Young, she kind of like gets knocked back. His fists do this much, which I actually rolled terrible. Her resist injury is so she like gets knocked off her feet. She's over on the side, but she doesn't seem to be harmed at all. The robot is then going to pick up the gun and it's going to shoot at you, Alekia. Just like this blaster shot. So that is
Glory.
So this is like a contested dodge.
Glory.
Yes, although I think that if it it's a very good question, honestly. I think it's not a contested dodge, but you have this skill called resist injury, which is where you can like try to be. So basically, if you want to try to dodge out of the way, you could just simply make a physical roll to do that, Alekia. But if you'd rather just try to resist the damage, you'll be able to attack as normal on your own turn.
I'm going to resist.
So go ahead and resist the damage. So basically, because they are going to, I think, hit you. Am I wrong
Resist
about
injury?
this? Yeah, roll resist injury.
Okay.
I think maybe I think probably there is a dodge roll in here. Hold on. Oh no, it's based on range. So this person is definitely going to hit you, but this is about how well you can slug it off with your stuff.
$21.
21.
Oh, wait, 22. 22, I'm sorry. It was plus
22. You have resisted more damage than was output. So basically, you hit, and like Elutella and Rawlings, you see as like the body armor that Alekia is wearing kind of just like like kind of disperses the force of it. It is now Rawlings and Elutella. You guys both have 7, so you can go as you'd like.
I would like to, and the gun has been shifted, right? By Alekia?
Yeah, but it picked the gun back up. Alekia tried to destroy the gun, shot it, it dropped it, but it has now picked it up and shot at him again.
So I can only calculate, I can only make one move, right? Or can I calculate and make a move?
You can calculate and make a move, that's fine.
Okay, I would like to calculate what shot with my ray gun, which I did pull out,
Great.
would be most efficient to deactivate this robot. And then I would like to shoot it.
Understood. So go ahead and roll a calculate roll on that. That is totally in line for how you'd try to do this.
Okay. So that is 18.
An 18.
Yes.
I will say with an 18 of calculation, you don't think shooting through the platinum armor and this thing is going to do any good. What you would need to do is try to hack it, which would involve you having to be upon the, like, you would need to get to it, like, access a plating somewhere and, you know, do a manual switch off of some kind. You would need to actively deactivate this robot with hacking abilities, which you are good at, but it's going to be more dangerous.
Can I fly over to...
You can
Attach
fly.
that.
Yes. Okay, so you're going to try to do that. Okay, cool. So since you can kind of calculate for free on these things, that's fine. So you sort of fly over. The harder part for you, though, is you have two options here. You can either try to, like, pull off an access port of some kind so that you can directly go into the operating things of the robot, but you're going to have to do some physical power to do that. Or get someone else to do that. Or you can simply go to it and try to, like, you know, use your little computer stick nonsense to try to hack through the stuff. It's going to be a higher hack difficulty required.
I would like to hack it.
Go ahead and make your hack roll. Would you like to spend any of your power cubes?
Yes. And I apologize for the sirens. There is an accident outside of my window.
That is okay. Oh, and hello, Raid. Hi, everyone. I think we've had a lot of raids tonight, but hello, Raid. So happy to have you here. We're just in the midst of fighting a robot who heard a word and freaked out here on Rocketbase 95.
Read a word and freaked out.
That's true. Didn't even hear it.
So I will roll. I roll my hack and power cube. Would I add one or?
Every power cube you spend, you will add 1 die to your pool.
I will add a power cube.
Okay, so that means how many are you rolling here?
6.
6 total, and make sure one of them is a dread die.
Of course.
And if you roll a 6 on that, you're going to get to roll like a set, you know, you get to count that animal again, so
yes,
it's
I know. Okay, it is 10, 16, 17, wait, 15.
Oh no! I rolled a 6 on my dread die.
great. No, that's good.
Oh, 25.
Okay, you rolled a 6 on your dread die.
Yes.
Roll the dread die again.
Okay.
3, 26.
20. You said 25, right?
Oh yes, I cannot. Lauren can't add.
That's fine. So 28.
Ella can't add.
Understood. So it's a 28 total.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, with a 28 total, I think actually, really obnoxiously, you are. Tell you what, I'm gonna roll to see if this is the if you've hit it. I'll just do it. Why not? You've hit it. You have succeeded in the robot. You've hacked the robot shutting down.
Nice.
Well.
The robot just deactivates. And kind of
Annette,
kind of pulls herself up
sorry.
like, what the hell was
I do
that?
apologize.
You're not supposed to be able to do that.
An honorable attack.
I am very adept at computers.
But you're not supposed to be able. These are supposed to be
Well, they're machines.
impervious to this kind of. Damn it! How much are
Well,
we spending
they
on
are
this if they're not
machines.
going to do that? And what the hell happened to it anyway?
It went rogue, as they say.
Why? Because it. What the hell was that? What did you do? Was that some kind of code? Wait, did you write like a QR code or something in your?
No, I kind of look around at like the cameras that I now notice in here.
Yeah.
That are now
They're
off.
They are
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
that was the name of the dreadlord of this domain.
Of this
Oh, dear.
domain? Of domain of what do you mean?
Again, every one of these 13 domains has a powerful lord that controls it, that is at the heart and the beating heart of that domain. And they have terrible effect. Each one operates its domain in a different way. Each domain has its own ways of, for example, the domain where I am from, the domain Merkshire.
What a horrible name.
It's the longer you are there, the more your mind descends into inane babble and chaos until you lose yourself completely. The domain Heistles, which is where the good Alekier and his companions abducted me from. In that domain, I had a sense that there was corruption, like moral corruption was what drove you to lose yourself. And everywhere there is something where you can lose yourself.
I see.
Where the powers of the domain take over you.
So these other places, they're not like here. There's something wrong with them. Got it.
There's something wrong with everywhere.
Okay. I mean, this is just
The reason you do not see the faults in your and each domain has its own different faults. The reason you do not see the faults in your own domain is because you are born in this. You're molded by it, and you will not. It is only until you see somewhere else you will understand your own home.
This domain is nothing but stars. There's no fault in our stars. Lekier, at this point, I would like for you to please. You get a little twinge. One of your tentacles is like, huh? I want you to make a quick sense roll for me.
$18.
This is a very, secure room you guys have been taken into, so there's some pretty serious sound dampening. But Alekia, in spite of that, you hear the sounds of screaming and laser blasts. Outside.
Stop.
What?
Something is wrong.
What do you mean? Yeah, obviously a robot just attacked. What are you talking about?
Battle awaits outside.
What? She kind of grabs her data pad and clicks it on and goes, oh, fuck. She starts hitting her data pad. They're not responding. They're not shutting down. If you guys kind of are looking
I look at Alekia, I was like, you must contact the ship immediately.
Captain, we are under attack.
Can they transport us on?
Can they transport us on?
There's no teleporters. As they're sort of like, you hear some like, the captain kind of, or someone from your vessel comes on and says, we are being assaulted by 2 of the security forces. They have fired on our agents at the gate. We have had to go back into the ship.
Can you offer us aid?
At this point, you guys are hearing like blasters from like outside and like seeing like walls.
Is there a window in this room?
Yes, actually you could. It's like the windows have been like completely made opaque. But I guess you probably know enough about weird tech. You could like run over it. Tell you what, just make a technical roll. This is just like trying to turn on AOL for a grandma.
4.
You're just like, you just can't. You're just waving your hands
I'll look
like
at it,
crazy.
Is there a way that the ship could come and take it and clamp over the window and we could get out through the window?
Not in a. I mean, and you guys are like, this is an interior. There is a window out into this stuff. That's right. The woman is like, absolutely not. No, we're not. We're just gonna. We'll just wait for the. We'll just wait for Arlie. Look, this room is. She's immediately starting to like hit buttons, and you see like ray shielding and stuff kind of popping up around the chamber. She's like, no. We can be perfectly fine in here. We'll just wait for the.
I
Arlington.
don't believe that the corporations have our best interests in mind.
Alitella, what are you talking about?
Well,
You've been with the company for so long.
I have.
And
you know
we
what?
bought you part of that cake that time.
Yes, and that was wonderful. For my
We must stay
birthday, that was
alive.
not my birthday. Yes, we must. And I believe that it would be imperative for us to go seek shelter elsewhere, because I do not believe we will be protected, Annette.
Listen,
Listen,
we're gonna. She's like,
if your security forces have been overridden, then this entire station is not safe.
yeah, but the station will be fine. Arlington Griff will send some like Marines to come handle it.
In how long?
They will. Eventually,
They'll be here in a couple days.
when it is convenient for them. And right now, they are dealing with a lot. And
Unless,
I don't,
yes, but I mean, I can put in a priority. Oh, that is true. Shoot, there's only
Yes.
3 priorities. Well, okay, listen.
unless
we
you
can.
have enough credits to pay them to make us a priority, I don't.
Yeah, I
believe
can't. I
they
mean,
would
it's
be
all
here.
it's just moving money around the court. That's
Yes.
not going to work.
Mm.
There's definitely a sense of danger here, and she seems to be sort of inflexible. She's like, just look, I'm going to be able to figure this out. Actually, Elatella, you figure it out. Why aren't they responding? She kind of tosses you the data pad.
Can I analyze or calculate?
Let's do an analyze on this.
Okay. Uh, 20. And the dread die was 3.
A 20.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. You have been completely shut out of the, like, something has like overridden all of the, like, it hasn't just overridden it, it's like deleting the code. Like, you don't see the command codes for all of those robots anymore.
And I have the wherewithal to, like, know this is extremely bad.
Oh yeah, you understand that for sure.
Oh, I regret to inform you that all hope seems to be lost here, and we need to find alternate means of protection. And so I highly recommend that we seek shelter with our new friends.
Okay.
And I do not say that lightly. I am losing my composure, which I do not do very often.
Oh my god, calm down.
My wings are, like, flaring out.
God, calm down, Doctor. Jeez.
I am ready to fly out of
Okay,
here, and
okay,
I will
it's fine.
fly out
It's
of an
fine.
airlock if I have to.
It's fine. Well, it's not. I don't
Where is
think
your escape route?
our escape route is going to be out through there. I'd rather not open the door to this place because there's a bunch of those robots out there.
Can the ship attach itself to the window? Like, yeah.
You're not going to be able to cut through these. These are reinforced. Alekia, you can of course. Oh, tell you what, Alekia, why don't you make an analyze roll? It's under mental.
8.
Your ships can cut through anything. The Velderal are the most powerful beings in the world, or in the sector.
Our ship can cut through any material known.
I mean, maybe
It's
eventually.
one of
But
the most powerful ships in the Vector.
I give the coordinates to the ship and ask if they can cut through for an escape plan.
Fair enough. Let's see how they're doing with their own affairs. They will need they'll definitely need a difficult on this. Well, they get it. That was 3 6s I just rolled on behalf of
Wow.
your friends. They have managed to extricate themselves from the station. The voice comes back. Give us your exact location. If the human is still with you and alive, it is imperative that we recapture him.
Can I hear this?
Over his comm, probably not.
Okay.
Actually, no. Yeah, he's doing that. We'll say you can hear it.
Can I? And I would, like, given my level of astrometric astrometrics knowledge, I would be able to just spout out the coordinates?
Yes, absolutely.
I will do that.
She shouts out the coordinates. Confirmed.
Everyone needs to stand back.
Understood. That is true. So they come to the. So I'll say that you hear that they're sort of flying around the ship. At this point, however, sort of like the windows into the sort of chamber where you guys are kind of like outside of which is the main sort of command center where you were. Things are now quiet. And then at the door to this room, you hear.
I would like to go grab the big gun that the robot dropped.
Okay.
And upon seeing him do that, I will ready my ray gun.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go get back behind Alekia.
Okay. Yeah. You got your card here. Sure.
I will do the same.
Okay.
Are there any like I'll look at the woman. Are there any like access tunnels or something we could hide in for the time being?
We can hide under the table, I guess.
The Jeffries tubes are not easily accessible from here.
I actually filled those all. We use it as a storage now.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
They're vital to the maintenance and upkeep of the ship. Why would you do that?
Seemed unnecessary. I don't know. They seem kind of like superfluous.
That seems very inconvenient.
Why wouldn't we just have robots doing all this anyway?
Well, the robots need room as well in the Jeffries tube because they need to move around freely
Because the robots are.
There are so many panels.
Now.
The robots are attacking now.
Ilekie, do you happen to know who is knocking?
I am uncertain.
It's robots, obviously, which is polite of them.
Probably the robots that killed him.
Well, I thought that it might be his people. He seems like an aggressive person. People? Aggressive being.
My people would have cut through this door already.
I appreciate
Speaking of your people, you see a massive sort of like silver disc sort of like appearing like out the window. And like you see a few bursts of like, lasers like filling up the window for a second before then there's nothing. And she says, see, nothing's cutting through this. And then suddenly you see this much more focused beam of pure like green death energy that is just trying to like cut through the area. And in fact, you guys see the wall where it's kind of aiming, so it's like shooting right under the window. The wall begins to very, very faintly glow.
Should I'll look at it like, should I put the bubble on my helmet?
Stand back. I would recommend you protect yourself.
I'll pop the bubble.
Put your bubble on. And actually, everyone here has means of, spacesuit. And the lady's like, I don't know. She's like, she puts an emergency over. Oh, what's going on? This is crazy. Ilekie, make one more sense roll for me.
Oh. Okay, so I got a 1 on one of them. What does that mean? On the dread
die? You got a 1 on your dread die. Correct.
Yeah.
So what is the highest die that you rolled of the other die?
5.
So take away the 5 and the 1 and add up what's left.
8.
And you do add what? Did you add your 1 to it because you always add a 1 to your senses?
Oh, 9 then.
Okay. So with a 9, it's just too much brightness. You're kind of like trying to see what they're doing. You're sort of trying to protect him. You just don't notice. None of you notice. We'll cut outside the window. He's the only one with even high enough sense to like look for it. We'll sort of cut outside, and you see that this massive flying saucer, like hundreds of feet in size, or like 100-foot diameter or so, is in the midst of just like firing this like dedicated beam to try to carve through. Unbeknownst to anybody on that, there's about 20 or 30 of those robots who are climbing over it. Setting their sort of self-detonating charges out of their bodies. And you watch as they're almost cutting through. I'm going to roll once on behalf of the robots. Okay. Then once on behalf of the crew. Okay, that's not even 10. That's 4d6 and it's not even 10.
Oh no.
So as your crew continues cutting through, you all suddenly see this massive burst of fire outside the window. The beam kind of like carves like a divot in the window, sort of shielding up there, and you sort of now see this like jaggedly cut thing. And as you sort of look out, you see that the saucer is bursting apart outside the window.
Alekia, I am so sorry.
Totally silent because, unlike in a Star Wars type
Because in
thing,
space,
this
no one
is
can hear you
space.
scream.
No one can hear you explode. So all you hear as this carries on is the relentless.
I'll turn and I'll look at Elutella. Is there no way out of this room aside from that door?
Is there?
She's like looking at her comm. Like, I
Can I analyze the room?
You cannot, because this is where we're ending tonight's session.
Oh.
You bastard! I'm sorry if I blew anyone's ear out.
You're fine. All right. Well, welcome to Rocketbase, guys. I hope that you get the sort of it's funny because Dan was sort of bringing up like what is the vibe of this place, and it's a very good question. And I would say that this one is all about just like stress. Basically, it's just about like those movies. Things are just always like getting as bad as possible and all the stuff. And like, let's try this thing. Okay, this doesn't work. Thank God those robots rolled so well. Because it would have been pretty fun if they'd cut the wall open and then you're all just floating out in space. But, so it goes.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Like, we have jetpacks, we scoot around, try and find a ship that has no robots on it.
What do we got? Exactly. It's just a space thing. But, well, that was fascinating. I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching. I think we had a bunch of raids tonight, so welcome everyone.
So many raids.
We should
came and checked it out. Yeah, if we have, yes, by all means.
Let's give our shout outs. So we had, oh my gosh, we had tons of raids. God Mode raided with a party of 5 tonight.
5 raids
Jedi coming big with a party of 100 tonight.
Thank you.
We had Swole Initiative Network with a bunch of buff dudes coming in, a party of 15.
Wonderful.
Crazy Texan resubscribed with Prime tonight. Rep RPG came in with a party of 26 tonight, and
But
RF
Zane,
Chaos came in with 9.
that party from Swole Initiative, because of how buff and big they are, it's really more like a party of like, instead of 15, it's more like a party of like 20.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were going to say a much larger number. I was waiting for a much bigger multiplier.
Look, unless every one of them is as big as Brock Lesnar, I'm not going to say 30.
That's fair. Yeah, no, they're 30 would be it's. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We super appreciate all of everyone coming and checking this out. We are here in a new sort of sci-fi horror situation, which is fun because if you like sci-fi horror, we'll join us on some other nights because we have not one but 2 Star Wars games going on. On Sunday nights, we have Luminous Beings, which is a tale of the mysteries of the Force. And on Monday nights, we have Crude Matter, a tale of gothic horror in a galaxy far, far away. Those are both 7:30 Sunday and Monday here on this channel, 7:30 Pacific time. And then on Tuesdays, we have a game called Gray in the Dark, which is our sort of noir game using 5e mechanics. The Star Wars games are using the old D100 system from like Chaosium and Call of Cthulhu and all that fun stuff. It's super fun stuff. I recommend all of it. We have a fun cliffhanger popping off on this one as well, so come back next week. I think we may have a few more players who we might have to like catch up with, where some people are trapped elsewhere on this space station, which is awesome. Yeah, we do what? Oh boy, do
players that we need to keep up.
Exactly.
Or catch up.
So yeah, really fun stuff there. Thank you all so much for watching this. Yeah, definitely thanks for give us a follow or subscribe if you're able to. Get a free Prime sub, all that stuff. Go to our About page to find out about our wonderful players. Go to our social stuff. We have a Discord. We have an Instagram. That's where we post most things, but also a TikTok. We want followers so we can do something live on TikTok. I don't understand that, but
So you
I've
can
been told.
do a live of our games.
Perfect. That's what we're after. All right, well, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, have a dreadful night.